confession time. And I have a little sewing confession to make, and I have some of your sewing confessions to share as well. My controversial sewing opinion is that I do not always, in fact I very rarely, match the colour of my thread perfectly to the colour of my fabric. I know, it's a big one. If I've got half a bobbin of thread and it's not a stark contrast to the fabric, I will use it on any project. Obviously, if I'm sewing like a pale coloured fabric and I've got a really dark thread in the bobbin, I'm not going to use that. But if the colour will blend in, and as long as your sewing machine is doing its job properly, you shouldn't see those stitches anyway. I posted this on social media yesterday and a lot of you were in agreement. So I know it's not the worst confession in the world, but I do have some good ones here. Some of them controversial opinions. Some of them are things that have left me a little bit cold. Like I said, we're talking about sewing. You do you. But let's have a look at some of your sewing controversial opinions. It seems people either love them and would add pockets to any garment possible, or you hate them. Now, I'm somewhere in the middle with this one. If a pattern comes with a pocket, obviously trousers, you need pockets in trousers, and some dresses and some skirts, perhaps. But it depends on the fabric and it depends on what I'm going to wear it with. So this dress doesn't have pockets. I wouldn't add pockets to this. This is the Tilly and the Buttons Nell dress made in a lovely viscose. If I had pockets in here, they'd be useless. I wouldn't put anything in the pocket because it would just drag the side seam down, unless it was like, you know, a tissue or something. But pockets generally I want to use to keep my phone or my keys in, and they just don't go in light floaty fabric. So yes, but some people really do love to add pockets to everything. Okay, next up, Christine says, I hand sew zips if I think I can get away with it. I don't think I would ever even consider hand sewing a zip. I would be terrified of wearing a garment with a hand sewn zip that it would just fall apart. I'd be on the school run and my skirt would just fall down. I can't imagine hand sewing a zip and feeling confident enough in my hand sewing ability. So hats off to you if you are that good at sewing zips that you would hand sew a zip. I don't like hand sewing buttons. So a lot of machines do come with a function where you can machine stitch buttons. I, again, would be really scared that I wouldn't get it right and that the needle would snap and fly off somewhere. But I actually quite like hand sewing buttons. I find that quite a meditative sewing task to do of an evening in front of the TV. Yeah, I don't mind hand sewing buttons. I don't mind a little bit of hand sewing actually in general. It depends how quickly I want the project to be finished though. I don't pre-wash fabric unless when I buy it says will shrink. Oh, no! Pre-wash every fabric that I ever intend to sew. I have had the situation where I have spent time sewing a beautiful garment that I thought I had pre-washed, but I hadn't, and then it went in the washing machine and I can't wear it anymore. Pre-wash your fabric, people. Also, I get that when your fabric arrives, you want to cut straight into it and get the thing made straight away. I very rarely have the time when fabric arrives to do that, so I stick it in the wash anyway. Plus, if it's a good day and you can wash it outside on the line, oh my God, when it comes to cutting out and you get the waft of that freshly clean smell. Yeah, I know. It's a bit sad, but it just adds to the experience. And cutting is one of my most dreaded sewing tasks. So if I can do anything to make it a little bit more enjoyable, I will. So pre-wash your fabric, people. I hate hemming, so sometimes I just guess. To be fair, I do that as well. I usually measure the first few inches of a hem, and then I kind of get a bit bored and eyeball it the rest of the way. So I think that's okay. Plus, I feel like it's one of those magic sewing skills that you can quite easily, after a few years of sewing, eyeball a centimetre or 2 centimetres for your hem. So yeah, I get that one. I don't enjoy hemming either, but I do enjoy wearing big floaty dresses and skirts that have really long hems. So yeah, I have to do it. I don't put pins in when opening buttonholes. You are dicing with fire, not putting a pin in the top of your buttonhole. Oh my goodness, what if the seam ripper just whoosh, you ruined it? Either pop a pin in the top and use your seam ripper, or get one of those buttonhole openers and on a cutting mat and you sort of chisel it open. That's a bit easier. I like doing that, but not putting pins in, I feel like you're just playing with fire there. Lay plans. Rarely, if ever, do I bother even looking, let alone following a lay plan. Again, I get that one. I think once you've been sewing a little while, you can get a bit confident. Quite often you can get a bit more out of your fabric than what a lay plan would suggest. With a little bit of pattern Tetris, a little bit of sewing know-how, a little bit of shimmying around this way or that way, you can generally get a pattern cut out of less fabric than what is suggested on the pattern. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend a beginner does that. I think you need a bit of experience before you go ahead, and also just make sure that you've got everything. Because a number of times I have cut out a pattern on the flat instead of on the fold and forgotten to cut a second sleeve, or I forgot to mirror the sleeve, so I've ended up with 2 left sleeves or something like that. So yeah, following lay plans, I understand that one. I don't like stitching in the ditch. I understand that one, but I actually really enjoy stitching in the ditch. It reminds me of playing that game Operation. You know, when you've got to really, really carefully do something, otherwise the buzzer's going to go off. Obviously no buzzer is going to go off, but stitching in the ditch I find really, really satisfying. Not following instructions properly and bodging it to make it work. Yeah, I kind of get that one as well. I think, again, that one comes with practice and experience. However, having said that, there have been times when I have gone, oh, actually, I think I know a better way to sew this particular step than what is suggested in the instructions, and I do it my way, and then later on I realised that there was a reason that it was done that way in the first place, and I regret being so cocky. I don't make toiles. Yeah, I get that one again. If a pattern was particularly fitted or had elements that were fitted, I would make a toile. A toile, if you don't know, is like a practice garment to check the fit before sewing into your actual fabric. So yeah, I very rarely make toiles. Probably because I don't like making toiles, I tend to veer towards garments that are a bit looser in fit and maybe don't need so much toiling. I hate animal print fabric. I might be the only one on the planet. Apparently you're not the only one on the planet. You're allowed to not like animal prints, just like you're allowed to not like floral prints or stripes or checks. That's a preference. I think that's okay. It does seem that the people who love animal print really love animal print. and will wear it like all the time. So I get that one. I rarely cut notches. Again, I feel like that's a bit dicey, but if you're more experienced, then you can get away with it. There are times when there are an excessive amount of notches and it's not really necessary. However, as a beginner, they're really, really useful. So yeah, give or take that one. You don't need to have a perfect finish on everything. Yes, agree, as long as your seams are finished enough that they're not going to fray in the wash. Yeah, you don't need to have a perfect finish on everything. And actually there have been times when the insides of my garment look a bit crazy because I've sewn up half the garment and used one colour overlocker thread, and then I've had to put that one aside and change the overlocker thread to do something else, and I haven't changed it back again. And I think that's okay. So yeah, the insides don't need to look pretty. You're the only one that's going to see them. If you love the insides of your garment to look nice, then crack on, absolutely. I don't like labels in my me-made clothes. I love labels, but I don't like wearing them on the inside of my clothes. So I get that one. I love labels and I have a whole tin full of them up there. They're so pretty and they're so exciting, and there are some really cool designs for woven labels now. But I tend to sew them, if I'm going to, on the outside of a garment, like on a hem, perhaps as a little feature, something like that. I do find if they are on the inside of my neckline that they're really scratchy. So I get that. I don't clip curves. I tend to trim close to the seam instead. I have seen this one done actually, and especially if you're sewing like a princess seam, so it's curving around the bust, if you can trim your seam nice and close to the stitching, then you get a bit less bulk. Sometimes on very delicate fabrics, if you clip into the seam, you can kind of see the bits where you've clipped. So yeah, I think that's a good practice, and I will try that one a bit more. You can press a bust dart upwards. Why would you need to? Why would you want to press a... I suppose you could. I suppose there's no reason why you couldn't press a bust dart upwards instead of downwards. But I don't know what the reason is for sewing a bust dart downwards. I suppose it's more likely to lay flat. Interesting. That's an interesting one. Every time I try something people talk about as difficult, I'm surprised it's not that bad. I don't think that meant to come across as braggy at all. Yeah, I get that one. I think if you have a bit more experience, perhaps things are a little bit easier because you know the general steps that you've got to take. However, something that came up in the sewing socials that I run on Thready Set Go is beginner's confidence. When I first started sewing as a hobby, I was very cocky, and the first garment I made was a sweetheart neckline, princess seamed dress fitted with an invisible zip in the back and puff sleeves gathered into a cuff. Now, I'm not sure I would tackle that now. I know all the steps and I absolutely could do it, but the fitting, I didn't have the time for it. But I was so cocky and so confident, and I don't remember like tearing my hair out going, this is impossible. As a beginner, I was a lot more confident than I am now. Or maybe not more confident, but a bit more gung-ho. I would give things a go much quicker. I'd be much more keen to give it a go than I am now. Probably just a time thing, to be honest. I was in my early 20s and I didn't have my own family or my own house to run or anything like that. So I had the time to really dedicate to it. So yeah, I think sometimes everyone's at a different level, aren't they? So somebody might say this was a really tricky bit because maybe they're a beginner, and then you go to do it and you're like, oh yeah, no, that wasn't that bad. Everyone's at different stages of their sewing journey. That's very woo-woo, isn't it? But everyone is at different stages. So that's amazing. If you've tackled something that you put off because you thought it was going to be really difficult and then you actually come to sew it and it was pretty easy, that's great. Amazing. Let me know in the comments what your sewing confessions or your unpopular sewing opinions are, and I would absolutely love to see them, and maybe I will do another sewing confessions video in the future. Thank you so much everyone for watching. I hope you have a great day and I will see you all really soon. Bye.